talk about some things?
Sure, man.
We've got a lot of products have come through here.
There have been boxes on boxes sitting around us.
Yeah, I've got to find a better way to keep up with my own email responses. I'm saying yes to things. Some companies are sending us things just for consideration.
Yes.
So we'll get products that are just kind of like, hey, we hope to see this included.
Yeah, we had a slight shift in the way we do things, and so we have gotten an influx of things.
Yeah, we've created a floodgate.
Yes.
And then we opened it.
Right. Which is good.
Yeah.
But also sometimes bad, because then you're going, all right,
I haven't talked about this product yet.
who else do I know that needs a speaker?
Yeah, well, that's the other side, right? Like, once you spend the time with the stuff, like, okay, do you need a charger? No, the 4 that you gave me last year worked just fine.
Exactly.
Are you sure you don't want a 65 watt this year?
I have to find new friends so I can keep giving them stuff.
That sounds like work.
I know, right?
I don't want friends, man. Acquaintances at best.
Yeah, sure.
So we have picked out, I think, 5 things to talk about.
Yep.
And we'll just kind of go back and forth between them.
Okay.
I will give the floor to you.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to talk about something called the Neoruler.
I am. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So the Neoruler is a digital ruler to be used for drafting or architecture, or it's just a ruler, so you could use it wherever. You can use it in school if you really want to. Might be cost prohibitive for a high schooler to pick up the Neoruler. But it's essentially, that's what it is. It's a ruler, and it has a digital readout screen that will tell you down to the 0.00 of whatever you're measuring, how far you are. And it has little hash marks, digital hash marks on the measurement part of the ruler to let you know how far you are. And it will, the lights will light up as you pull the ruler across, or it will just show hash marks so you can measure, set distances, and you can set that to whatever you want, whether you want it every, half inch or quarter inch, or, if you're doing millimeters every 10 millimeters, or however you want to do it, you can set up those measurements for yourself. So it's set up for measurement. It has all sorts of inputs and scales for if you're using it for architecture or drafting. All kinds of different unit conversions and smart scales and stuff. So whether you're doing, 1 inch is 10 feet, or if it's, a quarter inch is 20 feet. However big your drawing is, you can set that and then read your drawing with the ruler, and it'll give you a digital readout of what that is. You also can connect it to an app called the Mizor 2 app that will then store all of those measurements for you, so that if you are away from it, or you can send it to yourself, so that you have all your measurements in a digital form on your computer. They sent us a set that had, so the Neoruler normally comes with just the ruler device and an extra tab end. And that comes in at $129.
Okay.
But they have other products, other add-on accessories for it. They have a drafting kit and then a caliper kit too.
Okay.
And they sent those out. And those are cool. The drafting kit is, so the little slider that you move back and forth to measure what you need to measure, that pops off, and they send you an extra one. But then the drafting one has a little magnifying glass. So if you need to read stuff that's smaller, it has a little magnifier. Or the other one has a little hole for a drafting pencil. So if you want to draw if you're actually doing some drafting and need to draw, I need a precise 17 millimeter line, you can set that and then, draw it perfectly.
Very cool.
And then they also sent a caliper kit. Now the calipers work just as well as the ruler down to, 1/10 of a inch or whatever measurement you want. It's very accurate, but you do have to take apart the Neoruler slightly and add the caliper bits.
So it's not like a on the fly kind of thing?
No. So every other one, whether it's the reading or the drafting or the normal measuring, just have a little magnetic tab that you pull out and put the new adapter on. The caliper, you actually have to unscrew the end of it and kind of change a little bit of the pieces around.
Okay.
Which isn't hard to do, but if you're in a world where you're going to be using a caliper and measuring stuff, it's a little bit cumbersome to switch back and forth.
Yeah.
But the caliper works really well as calipers. It's a little bulky because the ruler itself, it's a little over an inch wide.
Right.
And, it's only like a 1/4 inch thick, but that's still a pretty decent size piece for a caliper.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm really impressed with this thing. I've been using it for work, for, looking at blueprints and getting out measurements for bidding some jobs for real life. And it works awesome. It works really, really well. And it was very intuitive on how to set up, the ratios of what I needed to measure and using that stuff. But I did find when switching over to the caliper, while it did work super well, it was a little cumbersome going back and forth between it.
Gotcha.
The calipers are nice though, because they do lock. So you can set, a precise, with that digital readout, you can set a precise size, and then you can know like, oh, if something doesn't fit within this, then the tolerances aren't right, or I need to change this and this. So it does have some nice features for a caliper, but if you're really going to be using calipers a lot, I think you'd probably be better served to just buy dedicated calipers and then use this for the measuring feature, because I think the measuring, especially paired with the Mizor app, the measuring features are just so much better.
Okay.
I think they just work better in that form factor.
So this would be a good idea, like a tool for like architecture, engineers, artists,
interior designers, kind of anybody that needs to get some measurements from, blueprints or pictures or kind of whatever. It's really nice. And then with that app, paired with that app, which is free, it just worked really well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And again, so the company's called
HOZO Design, and this is the Neoruler. And we were able to check out, they have the Neoruler plus a reading kit, a drafting kit, and a caliper kit.
Okay.
So all said, if you wanted to get everything all together, you'd be looking at like around $189.
Okay.
For everything all together. But I think $129 for just the ruler in general. It's awesome.
It's really
cool. Really awesome.
Yeah.
Very easy to read, and the battery life is really good. It has a USB-C charge, so you can just charge it when you need it. And I've used it quite a bit, and I haven't charged it again yet.
Nice.
I'm expecting it one of these days when I go to turn it on and it's not charged. I'll just charge it, but until then, I want to see how long it actually lasts.
Luke, plug your stuff in.
I will. I will.
All right. Thank you, Luke.
No problem.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.